She was always careful to leave the door open when she started her car in the morning. That way, if somebody had planted a car bomb, she'd had a chance of being injured rather than killed.
Embrace your crazy ideas right now, or you'll regret for the rest of your life that you never took action.
Everybody told me file bankruptcy, you're losing your ass every month, and you've borrowed money. I had borrowed money from family, friends, my credit cards, 180 grand on my credit cards.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and this channel is created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Michelle Obama. Also, if you want to hear from more successful women and black leaders, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join are in the description below.
I want you all to stay true to the most real, most sincere, most authentic parts of yourselves.
Doubts don't go away. You just learn how to deal with them.
First of all, you gotta be open to taking some risks and not being afraid to fail. Think about one of my heroines, Marion Wright Edelman, class of 1960, working as a young civil rights lawyer down in Mississippi. Attorneys in judges' chambers refused to shake her hand. The sheriff locked the doors against her when she came to visit her clients in jail. She was always careful to leave the door open when she started her car in the morning. That way, if somebody had planted a car bomb, she'd had a chance of being injured rather than killed. But through it all, she continued to represent her clients. She continued to resist unjust laws with every fiber of her being. And then there's Janet Bragg, class of 1925, who was determined to be a pilot. When she was barred from flying out of segregated airports, she worked with her flying school classmates and instructors to build their own airfield. When she was rejected from the Women Air Force Service pilots because of her race, she enrolled in a civilian training program instead, and when she completed her training, but an instructor unfairly prevented her from receiving her license, she picked up and moved to Chicago, passed the exam, and became the first African-American woman to earn a commercial pilot's license. Of her experiences, she said, "There were so many things they said women couldn't do and blacks couldn't do. Every defeat to me was a challenge. And for 6 generations, that is what Spelman women have done. They have seen every defeat as a challenge." Now, did they have moments of doubt, anxiety, and fear? Did they have moments of despair when they thought about giving up or giving in? Well, of course they did. We all do. And I am no exception.
Chasing down your dream is scary. Chances are nobody around you has done anything close to what you want to do, and they don't understand you. They think you're crazy. Well, you know what? Here's a news flash. You are crazy. And you need to embrace your crazy ideas right now, or you'll regret for the rest of your life that you never took action. So I'm a big believer that you need to trust your crazy ideas, that when an idea comes to you, you have to go off and do it. You have to teach yourself that you are a genius, therefore you come up with genius ideas, and you need to birth them into existence. Because it came to you, therefore it's good. At least that's what I tell myself. And here's a quick example. I started a new channel last week featuring IG lives of different entrepreneurs. One of the things that frustrated me was that people, your heroes, people that I love, that I look up to, that you look up to, are going live on Instagram every day, and the lives disappear in 24 hours. It's just a function of Instagram, is after 24 hours, the lives go away. Nobody can see them anymore. And I was frustrated for myself and for you, and that all of this great wisdom was being lost. But I was also frustrated for them, for the thought leaders, for the experts, for your heroes, that they're creating this amazing content to help people, and then it just goes away. And so I wanted to help protect their legacy, preserve their wisdom, and also have something for you guys to be able to go back to again and again and again, access to thought leaders and experts and heroes. And so I thought, what if I just started a channel with their IG lives? And I came up with the idea on a Friday, and then on Friday we launched. On Friday, I started with my own live, and we had a live of one other person, and I put them up, and we launched a channel, set up the email address, set up the banners, set up the channel art, set up the playlist, set up the rules, and then started training my team on how to do it. And so now we've got, I don't know how many videos, a bunch of videos that have been put up since we've launched a channel. And that needs to be the speed at which you start to move. That you get ideas and you don't sit on them. How many ideas have you had that you've been sitting on for weeks, for months, for years? When I travel and I meet different entrepreneurs, it saddens me so much to see so many people have had a dream for a decade plus and still haven't done anything with it. The biggest problem is you're just not acting on it. And so you have to protect your dream. You have to find a spot that makes you come alive, makes you believe that you can do it. But protecting your dream doesn't mean doing nothing on your dream, right? You have to act. Even when the people around you don't understand you, think you're crazy, because again, you are nuts. It's amazing, and you have to embrace your crazy ideas. So how do you do it? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is use the fear of regret. This is what used to motivate me a lot in my early days as an entrepreneur. I used to use the fear of regret, because whatever you wanna do, there is definitely a healthy dose of fear. There should be. If you're doing something big you've never done before, you're afraid of, there should be fear, right? You've never done it before, it's bigger than you should be afraid of it. And that fear prevents us from taking action. So what I would do is trick myself to think about, hey, when I am 95 years old, looking back on this moment, this is the moment. I would tell myself, this decision right now, this one right here, this is the one that will change the whole game for me. This decision will be the thing that blows up my entire career, that has the big impact that I want to have. And if I don't do this thing right now, then I'm going to hate my life forever. That's what I would tell myself. And I would use that pain, I would create a bigger pain for myself so that that small pain of potentially failing wasn't as big. The pain is real. The fear is real. I just give myself a bigger fear, which was hating my life for the next 5 decades. Right? And so that would force me into action. And so use the fear of regret. Think about how long you've been thinking about this idea, this dream, this thing that you want to create, and you haven't done it yet. What happens if next year you're in the same spot, and in 5 years you're in the same spot, and 10 years you're in the same spot, and just pump all of this short-term pressure on yourself. It's not good to live in that 24/7, but in these acute moments, to get you to do the thing that you need to do, to just start the ball rolling, it can be very beneficial to use the fear of regret, because that's coming. It's very real. You could be the 95-year-old person looking back in your life, knowing that you could have done something special and you didn't because you were afraid. And so number 1 is use the fear of regret. Number 2 is tell yourself that you do difficult things. You do difficult things. This is what I use much more now, is that I do difficult things. When I'm afraid to do something, as soon as I hear myself saying, I'm afraid, it's scary, it's difficult, I remind myself, you do difficult things. Evan Carmichael does difficult things. That's literally the conversation I'm having inside my head. As soon as I can catch myself playing small on something I want to do, because the language coming back to myself is that's difficult, that's hard, that's scary, then just because I caught myself saying that, I have to go off and do it. And so to teach yourself that you do difficult things, and then to show yourself that you go off and do difficult things, whether it works out or not, whether you get the result or not, the fact that you're willing to get up and do difficult things every day, I think is one of the most important mindset shifts that you can gift to yourself so you can start accomplishing your big goals. And step number 3 is remember your big why, little why. So the big why is your big mission. What are you trying to do? The big thing that hopefully you wake up to and say, this is what I want to go and make in the world, right? I want to solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. I want to help 1 billion entrepreneurs. It's a big why. It's a big why that's never going to happen, right? You need to have a mission that's so big that it's never going to happen. If you know it can happen, then it's not big enough. And yet you wake up every day trying to make it happen. And so having that big purpose is meaningful, has to happen. I cover it in my book, Built to Serve, but you have to have it. Sometimes though, the big why is too big. And so I like the little why, which is just you helped 1 person. And so I'd look to my comments, or I'd look to somebody who saw me on stage and sent me an email, right? Just proof that one person, I'm holding 2 fingers up, that one person was impacted by your message, that you helped one person. You may not be anywhere close to hitting your big why, the big goal, the big mission, but you helped one person. And knowing that you helped that one person, that what you made, that what you did was meaningful to them and had an impact on their life, can be just enough fuel to get you through the day building more momentum. Because sometimes that big why is too big, and you have to remind yourself of the little why so that you feel that the work that you do matters, is meaningful, and has an impact on other people's lives. Big why, little why. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I wanna know, what is the difficult thing that you need to do next? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video and you're still watching, I wanna celebrate you. Give me a hashtag, but leave in the comments as well.
While I was trying to sell my supermarket, because everybody told me file bankruptcy, you're losing your ass every month, and you've borrowed money. I had borrowed money from family, friends, my credit cards, 180 grand on my credit cards, paying 22% interest rate. Yeah, I was paying 4,000 a month interest, give or take, per month. And I didn't have money. I was just borrowing to just keep it, stay alive.
Going,
Yeah. Everybody says, file bankruptcy, you rebuild your credit within 3 to 5 years. I'm like, no, this country is built on credit.
Yeah.
I learned early on, that, if you learn the system, use the system, and it's all credit based, And it's all about, using your credit to leverage, business opportunities. So if I file bankruptcy, I'm dead for 7 years, and and on top of that, it's a failure, I can't accept failure, It's okay to, close a business and go on a better opportunity. To me, that's not a failure. But to give up.
Yeah, to give up.
To give up.
For like 7 years, basically.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's basically like death,
If you want to know how Michelle Obama builds her own communities, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
And what I know now is that I would not have made it through that college period without that group of people by my side.